All right, everybody, we are joined by Minnesota head coach Brad Frost and student athletes Grace Zumwinkle and Gracie Ostertag. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Frost, and then we'll take questions for the players.
Yeah, very entertaining hockey game here tonight, I think, for the fans. Just some swings and momentum both ways, and Wisconsin found a way to make a play there at the end and on a nice goal. But really just super proud of our team and our group. They left it all on the ice. They played for one another. Unfortunately, it's an occupational hazard that when you get under the bright lights, one team's going to lose and one team's going to win. And unfortunately, we were on the wrong end of it here tonight. So just love these guys and love our group and proud of the season that they had.
Questions for the student athletes?
This is for either one of you, but maybe I'll start with you, Grace. When they tied it up and you could feel the air coming out, what was either said on the bench? I know you've faced this team many times before, but just to rebound and force the overtime.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely had a great game, and I tip my hat off to them, especially they were resilient all night. They had some good chances throughout all three periods, and they were able to get too lucky, too quick there. And so I think, especially scoring with like less than a minute or a minute left, I think it just shows the resilience of our group. And it was going to be a back and forth game, we knew from the beginning of the night, and one team wins and one team loses at the end of the day.
Jess Myers from the Rink Live. Grace, can you take us through the tying goal? It looked like it maybe got to you, or did it not quite reach you?
I honestly have no clue. It just kind of happened in the blur of the moment. But I think we were more just excited to tie it up rather than who scored.
I think Madeline shot it. Skye was in front along with a Wisconsin player. I think it might have gone off her.
You celebrated like you got it.
I think it was just heat of the moment.
I'll go again. Gracie, Taylor's birthday today. When she gets that early one, do you think, oh boy, here goes the Taylor show again?
We're thinking Patty with the Hattie tonight. I mean, kind of going into it. But, yeah, I was just super happy for her and super proud of her for getting that first goal for us tonight. Just love this group and super honored to be playing with every single one of them. So.
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
Brad, how did you guys fight through the frustration of not being able to break through on the power play and when you had especially those chances in the second period?
Yeah, I think when two good teams are playing, we generated a little bit of momentum there with our first one, and then you get one. I think we got one with 7 or 8 minutes left, and weren't able to put one home. But Murph had a good chance on the back door on one of them, and but yeah, I mean, special teams. I thought our PK was good. We generated a little momentum on our power play, but figured it would be a race to 3 tonight, and unfortunately it was.
I'm not sure that either of you were on the ice, but after Wisconsin scored their second goal, Taylor gathered everybody up and I think kind of said, like, that's not it. Do you guys know what was said there?
I can't quite remember, but I think it was just like we had 8 minutes left or so, and was time to make a statement during those 8 minutes, and you obviously don't want to leave the rink hanging your head with playing the shoulda, coulda, woulda game. And I think at that moment in time it was the fight or flight mentality, and we obviously fought back to tie the game. I mean, wasn't good enough at the end of the night, but I think it just shows how tight-knit this group is, and how no matter at the end of the day, we're going to fight until the whistle ends.
Brad, right up until the point when they scored, have you ever seen a game that had that many chances with a 1-0 game? I mean, it could have been 9-8.
Yeah, I mean, both teams. There's just so much skill on the ice, right? And that's why it's so hard to keep the momentum when you have it, because eventually the other team's going to get it. Obviously that tip by Grace to potentially put us up 2-0 that gets waved off. And then, I don't know, a minute later we're down 2-1, right? So, again, it's a game of inches and breaks, and it's another reason why I think high sticking the puck should be allowed when you're scoring a goal, but that's for another discussion in Naples at the coaches' convention. But when it got waved off, there's just not enough angles to really see if it was a high stick or not. But it was a heck of a skill play by Grace, and unfortunately it didn't count.
For Grace and Brad, yeah, I was just going to ask about that goal. It seemed like you celebrated, horn went off. Did you have a feeling right away that you thought your stick was too high, or did you think it was a good goal and just after the fact, the referees came by and disallowed it?
I knew it was a bit high, but I was advised might as well celly and see what happens. So gave it a try. And I don't even think it was very close considering they didn't even review. But at the end of the day, you can't do much about it.
Anything else for the student athletes? All right.
See ya.
Thank you, ladies.
Thanks.
Brad, on that play on the high stick, would you have needed to challenge there, and was that strategic, wanting to hold on to a timeout?
Yeah, I would have had to challenge. I did ask the referee if that's something I have to challenge or not. I just know these refs, and I was able to look on the screen too, right, the replay. It's just, I would say 90% of the time, whatever the call is on the ice is what it's going to be after replay, maybe even more like 95%. And he waved it off right away, so Robert had a good view of it. But it's just, it happened so fast. That's why I just don't like the rule the way it is, because every camera view, it's near impossible to tell, from whatever angle if the stick's too high. So I just I just thought that it would stay no goal, so there's no sense in trying to waste a timeout.
Kind of the same question I asked them about Taylor. It just really seemed like tonight was one of those nights where, hey, I'll put this one on my back kind of thing. It's just, what did she mean tonight?
Yeah, I mean, she's just so good. Obviously that goal was a great one to start things off there and get us some momentum that I felt like we carried through the first period. But she's a big-time player in big-time moments, and you need those players to step up, and she did that. Not just with that goal, but great chance there in the third, I think, with about 7 minutes left, and she's just incredibly skilled, and the year that she had with everybody paying extra attention to her was a pretty special year.
Brad, I know you've talked about this all year, but with so many seniors and super seniors on this team, and knowing that, excuse me, they were going to make a run for it, what does it mean to you to see a lot of them go?
Yeah. Don, you're not supposed to cry. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were tearing up, and when I see people cry, I cry, so sorry. I'll hold it back now. Yeah, I mean, what a group. They came back to get to this point and hopefully beyond, and they're, yeah, I mean, I think they're one of the most talented classes we've ever recruited at Minnesota, and they're all Minnesota kids. They've all kind of grew up playing with one another, and they all have pictures of themselves when they were 10, 11, 12 years old playing in different tournaments. So I think that's one of the reasons why this obviously hurts, but it hurts a lot because I hurt for them and the rest of the group because, they came back with the intention of winning a national championship, and we fell short of that. So, but they're a special group that will go down in Gopher women's hockey history for sure.
Anything else for Coach Frost?
Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you.